Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Bad Friends podcast. This is the one where we don't have a lot to talk about, so it might be bad. My name is Thomas Murphy, and as usual, I'm joined by Connor Keneally, world famous YouTuber. Connor, how's life?
Well, it's
Connor's keeping up his tradition of
starting off with
not saying how his life has been.
with sounding as not empathetic, with as apathetic as I can be for every intro.
Pathetic in general.
But do you want to give a little overview as to how many topics you came up with for this week's podcast, Moss?
Yeah. One, and it's barely one.
So for the most part with these podcasts, what we do is we both get like 50-50 for the topics. I'll come up with some, Tomas come up with some, and while we're doing the podcast, we like exchange back and forth to decide whose topic is next. This week, I did
not so much.
This week I did double for some reason. Loads of stuff happened that just spoke to me.
By double, Connor means he got like 5.5.
I got
that shows how much work he does.
5.5. But to be fair, it's more than I've gotten for most of the weeks, and I actually know what the hell I'm talking about for once. But Tomas, until about I forgot 9 hours ago, didn't even you did realise it was on, but you just didn't have any topics at all.
I've been busy. Leave me alone. I was busy this week. This week went really quickly for some reason. So I was like, oh, but it was like Thursday, and I was like, oh damn, we're recording on Saturday and nothing to talk about. So we record these on a Saturday night, by the way.
Yeah, and they're up then the next day because I'm an amazing editor.
Yeah, there's so much editing for a podcast.
They should just drag the clip in.
4 images, maybe.
Yeah. So for topics, do you want to start off with one of them?
I'll let you start. I did a last week.
Okay, so this is basically just one that we're probably more involved with, since it happened with probably our favourite YouTuber between the two of us. So Jake Paul fought Joe Weller in a boxing match this week.
Jake Paul is my favourite YouTuber.
Yeah. He fought some other guy.
He fought this guy.
Fought this bum. But basically,
well, they didn't fight. They were sparring.
Well, yeah, but
that's not really a fight. Like,
yeah, I suppose. But basically, Joe Weller was like, "Ayo, I wanna go to LA. Anyone wanna record?" And Jake Paul's like, "Sham, yeah."
Me.
Sham. And Joe's like,
Swear.
Oh, Sham, I need views, mate. And then they fought. I keep saying fought, they sparred, but basically.
Then immediately after they sparred, Jake Paul released a diss track on Joe.
Yeah, that's the main reason.
That Joe was in. Joe's in the video.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I wanted to bring this up in the podcast, is because of what kind of surrounded that. I think it was like KSI was kind of criticizing Joe, and so was Deji.
Yeah.
Big comedy shorts gamer was criticizing Joe Weller for being cringy. But yeah, basically, Jake Paul recorded a diss track, and in Joe's words, he was inside, and he went outside when his mate told him, and Jake was making a diss track on him. So rather than walk away and in his eyes just let Jake win, he decided he'd hop in the video. And according to Joe, because as much as I like the guy, there's no way we can be 100% sure. Like, he's not being a little fibber. He hold on. I dropped my phone. Yeah, he was basically he decided he'd hop into the music video just to try and, like, I guess irritate Jake. I'm not really too sure as to what he was aiming for in this scenario, but basically he said in his video that he uploaded today that he was flipping off the camera for the most part.
Yeah.
But it was only really the portions where Joe was in the video, like dancing along to the music and just pointing at himself, that that Jake left in. So it
I didn't see. I watched a little bit of the fight. I didn't see the video.
Yeah.
But like, who cares? All this like the whole kind of. I feel like the whole boxing culture on like there is no real boxing culture on YouTube. It's just just KSI at this point.
Yeah, it's literally just drama with payoff. Like
yeah.
But the thing is with this, while Joe like announced his retirement, and one thing that kind of annoyed me, like at the end he said he was retiring, but JJ keeps like, well, he brought it up again, like he was like, I'm sure if he had the right opponent, like he'd fight again. I'm almost convinced that like this whole thing is gonna start dying off at some point. Like after KSI Logan 2, I doubt anyone's gonna care anymore.
Yeah,
and
like
so I'd say they'll have to go back to Joe Weller again, just because he's kind of one of the biggest names in relation to it. And he's also like, he also is a very big UK YouTuber, obviously. But
yeah,
I think they're gonna try.
He's like the Jack films of Britain.
Yeah, like I guess they'll probably try like tee him up against like Deji or something, just to try and bring things back. But eventually, this whole thing's definitely gonna die out. Like as of now, I don't really care at all.
Yeah, I was. Like everyone, no one really cares about it, but they go along with the hype.
Yeah.
Like even last year for KSI versus Joe Weller, I forgot that happened until JJ's video at the end of the year after he fought Logan.
Yeah.
So like, who cares? It's not important.
It's not even that.
It's stupid as well. Like the fact that they're like, oh, you called me a name in a music video, I'm going to punch you. Like
yeah, it's on like secondary school levels, like of,
first years.
Like you say
my dad could beat your dad in a fight.
Yeah, like
literally.
It's kind of immature, really, when you look at it, because it's like a playground spot, really.
Yeah.
Like,
except they can make millions off of it.
Yeah, like apparently, like KSI made upwards of like 10 million. On the fight with Logan, not the fight with Joe. But while we're kind of on the topic there of KSI, actually,
excuse me,
Jesus Christ, do you want to calm down?
I'm sorry, I'm drinking some soda.
Oh, you're such a wet wipe. For saying soda, not for drinking.
Well, I don't want to get a copyright striked. Like saying the brand.
What, for saying fizzy drink?
Oh, sorry. I don't think. Sorry, I was drinking a mineral. Like, who cares what I said?
That kind of ruined my segue now. Well, we were just on there about how KSI was making loads of money from the boxing.
Yes.
And what I was going to say then is that kind of leads in, because this whole 10 million figure was kind of coined by big lad Piers Morgan on Good Morning Britain. I don't
Good Morning on GMB.
Yeah, did you see the clip?
Oh, I saw bits of it. I saw like it's like KSI just like being totally uncomfortable. I saw them talking about his chain, actually, his Beerus.
Oh, his like
necklace.
500k Beerus chain.
Yeah, that he's going to put in a safe, and they're like, "What's the point in buying a chain if you're just going to put it in a safe?"
It's like, because it's worth a quarter. It's because it's worth £500,000. That is why.
JJ was like, "Well, I'm going on tour, so I don't want to get stolen when I'm gone."
Yeah. Like, as soon as he arrived in, like, he was like, Piers Morgan's like, just to paraphrase it, he didn't literally just say this. He's like,
"Yes,
You're not the king of the internet. I have more Twitter followers than you. So
Does he?
Yeah, he has like 2 million more Twitter
followers. Well, he said
followers.
that last time as well, didn't he?
Yes. If that doesn't show
Get
just
over
how
it. Get over it, Pierce.
we get it, Piers.
Go back to Britain's Got Talent. Back when you were relevant, like 6 years ago.
Go back to tossing off Donald Trump. But basically, Piers is like just showed up. He's like, "Oh yeah."
He just showed up to his own show.
He showed up when KSI showed up in like a crown and a robe, which he definitely didn't want to wear. Hence why he was carrying the crown in his hand on the way on. And Piers just goes, "I heard you made upwards of like 10-20 million on this boxing match." He goes, "How much do you make?" And KSI's just there laughing, and Piers keeps like hounding him for an answer. And KSI, in fairness, I think he gave like the best answer he could have, where he just goes, "What do you want me to say, Piers? You want to say I'm effing loaded?" He goes, "Fine, I'm loaded, Piers." He's like, "I've got so much money, Piers." And Piers just started like laughing, because he's actually possibly the biggest wet wipe, I think. He is the English Louis Walsh. If like
No way. Louis Walsh is I'd much rather Louis Walsh to Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is like
well, I suppose
he's a dick. Louis Walsh is just a gay old man. He just likes everybody. No, like, that's not an insult. He is gay. But like that's
it's just
like his own personality.
It's the way you phrase it. Oh, he's just some gay old man.
No, but like people like Louis Walsh, even if he is kind of annoying. No one actually enjoys Piers Morgan.
No, apart from like the EDL, like
Yeah.
Like I don't. It kind of relates back to a point. I think we brought this up in the first episode of the podcast, where like YouTubers just shouldn't go on TV ever.
Yeah.
It never works out. Either they get old tweets pulled up, or like Jack Maynard, or they are just asked how much money they can make. Or in Joe Suggs' case, they're called a white supremacist because they played the circle game with the nation.
What's the circle game?
You know
what?
You know when you do like the OK sign, like you.
Oh yes.
You put that like on your leg. He did that on whatever dancing show he was on.
He's definitely been
and
the most successful YouTuber. He's definitely had the most success for a YouTuber on TV.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because like
he's just so likable.
It wasn't based around him being a YouTuber.
No, it was about him being just.
It was about his talent.
Yeah.
Like, well, I suppose he was only there because he was a YouTuber.
But the whole show isn't based around the fact that he is a YouTuber.
Yeah. Like when Jack Maynard went out on a celebrity,
they literally had like when they're going around interviewing them, it goes like Jack Maynard 22 YouTuber. So.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, like. But like there was, as soon as he did like just one little, not even a screw up, just something that boomers wouldn't understand.
I hate boomers. I hate boomers so much.
He put his
boomer culture is worse than
everything.
Not a lot.
He just played the circle game. They just go, white supremacy, white supremacy.
What is that? How are they linked?
I do not know. Like, there's genuinely ways now where you can search Joe Sugg and then white supremacy, and like I think it's like 1 or 2 articles was made on him. I don't know what company it was that made it.
Imagine that.
The Metro.
Imagine that autocomplete interview.
The Metro. Yeah, I have my wired autocomplete just like Joe Sugg stood up and goes,
white supremacist.
Joe Sugg, white supremacy? Like
Joe Sugg's sister.
And it's like here's the article's headline exactly. Joe Sugg's circle game gesture on Strictly Come Dancing is also a white power symbol. By Rebecca Lewis.
Fuck off, no, it's not. There's no emoji of it. Calm down.
But the symbol also has a much more sinister meaning, as this has been repeatedly used by white supremacy groups and white nationalists in the US. So, Casey Neistat. Do you ever? No, I'm not calling Casey Neistat a white supremacist. Okay, just before he sues us. But I was just
caveman.
I was just saying it because in all his videos he always does like that symbol, like really close to the camera. That's the only reason I did it.
Pyrocynical, but that's a less compelling case against white supremacy.
Yeah, like it's basically just based on the fact that conservative social media stars and operatives began making the gesture together at various events supporting the candidacy of Donald Trump, and that's why they called Joe Sugg a white supremacist.
Hitler had a mustache. Everyone who has a mustache now
Nazi
is a Nazi.
It's just...
Some white people tried to redo a high five. If you do this, you're a white supremacist.
No, wait.
Sorry?
The world has just gotten weird, like out of nowhere.
What's wrong with the world, man?
It's like that college that replaced like clapping with jazz hands. Just
yeah, that's worth it though.
Yeah, but that's like really cool. I want that to be like my school.
Well, I wish that was me.
Could you imagine us like basically in our school? This is just
at the opera.
In our school, we have like a concert every year, just not to give away our location to most. But
sorry.
Could you imagine if
I meant the Christmas show.
I'm just gonna censor
censor the O word.
But could you imagine if like at the end of every act, everyone just like did jazz hands like in the crowd? It was just
it'd be so quiet. Jesus, that was so awkward.
Radio silence, and it's just like everyone just shaking their just like moving their wrists,
gyrating their hands.
Yeah, like it'd be the funniest thing ever, to be quite honest. Like, it'd actually be really funny if like if you didn't go to the school, like.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, like if you're at the school and you like if you're a student and your school became known for not.
We don't clapping.
We don't clap. We jazz hand.
I think that that college that did that was for like a disability thing, wasn't it?
It was to help those with sensory issues.
Yeah.
I literally only say that because I have the article open here on The Guardian, but it's Manchester University because they want to help people who have sensory issues that are in the college.
Manchester University tackling the big issues. Why do you clap in college? What's there to clap about?
Like when someone does a presentation.
Oh, do you clap after that?
I don't know. I'm not in college, Tomas. In case you haven't noticed. But
oh yes. We were saying there about people asking YouTubers how much money they make.
Yeah. And
Will and E made a video. I don't know if you saw this, where he was about award shows.
Oh yeah.
And he made a. I think I can't remember what it's called. It's like the British YouTuber Power List or something.
Yeah, it's like.
And he ranked the top 50 YouTubers. Yeah. And he just completely made up everyone's salary, and everyone bought it. So who cares? You know, everyone. You know.
I couldn't have put it better myself, Tomas.
But.
Like,
sorry.
No offense, like that was just such a ramble.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it up earlier, but you were talking.
Oh, sorry for that, Chief.
No problem.
We move on from where we started off with KSI being on TV to jazz hands.
Yep, natural transitions.
So. Will we move on to Article 13/11?
Ooh. Yeah.
The big topic.
Ooh.
Ooh. The internet waits with
Ooh.
bated breath. So yeah, in case you missed it, all
Me?
five of you. No, the
Oh,
viewers,
I
not you,
didn't.
Moss,
And me.
and you.
As I said, I had a busy week.
The Union of the European Nations has voted to
What are they called?
the European Union.
Oh. The EU.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They've decided to rewrite copyright rules with Article 13, where basically websites like YouTube and Reddit and Google and all this will basically have to regulate like everything that's put up to make sure that nothing is copyrighted. Like there's nothing that would have copyright to it. Luckily, memes are safe. I checked this with
Because
my
they're all
MEPs,
stock images.
but memes are fair game, which is always good.
Yes! Yes!
But with like videos on YouTube, I think some people we don't really know how far it's gonna go, how far the EU are gonna press them. But some people are worried that like it could go as far as meaning you can't use gameplay.
Yeah.
Because technically, like if you're playing FIFA, FIFA technically is copyrighted as a game by EA. So EA would have it in their rights to strike you down, but EA wouldn't even be doing it; it'd just be getting done by bots. So
Yeah.
it's not even like EA would just be like, no, you can't use that content or anything. It should literally just be a bot. A normal bot would just go through and just be like, no. And there's nothing EA or the content creator could do about it. So.
But could, like. So EA couldn't do anything about it?
No.
Surely.
It should.
EA could say, yeah, they can use our stuff.
Well.
To a certain extent.
I don't know. We're kind of left in the dark as to how deep it's gonna go. The European Union hasn't really specified a lot. They've basically just been like, we're gonna change everything. We're gonna make YouTube like have its own copyright system, even though it already does, and it's already bad. But we're gonna have to make it stricter because some people want more money. So
yeah.
It's completely unknown as to how far it's gonna go. Like even if like some people have gone a bit overboard on Twitter. I've seen people that are like, I'm not even gonna be able to wear like a T-shirt with a logo, which I think is so stupid because they're not gonna, YouTube aren't gonna be like, yeah, you can upload videos, but you have to do it like completely naked. You can't wear any clothes because it's made by a company, and that company will copyright strike you.
You're not allowed to use this camera because that is made by a company. You should make your own camera.
Like, we just go back to like before, like you can't edit with your own laptop because Lenovo.
We're deleting YouTube. We're deleting YouTube because it's owned by Google, which is a company.
all the money from your videos that's now going to Google. Unlucky.
That already happens to
most content creators.
Yeah.
But one thing as well that I don't think many people have been talking about is Article 11.
I don't even know what that is.
Article 11 has got like no talk really in comparison to 13. But Article 11, this is the exact words from the Telegraph really. Article 11 is a copyright law approved by the European Parliament, which has been dubbed the link tax. This means that companies who use other people's headlines and first paragraph of text will be forced to pay in order to display them. So what do you mean?
What does that mean?
Basically, it means that if you were to copy like a headline and put it anywhere else,
put it on like Twitter.
Yeah, it would basically mean that you'd have to pay. There'd be a tax paid to the original website that used that said headline. It was meant to be worse, like where some people were afraid that it was going to have to do with hyperlinks, like where you'd copy and paste a link and send it on to someone, and that there'd be a tax taken for doing that sort of a thing, like just sharing something.
That is so stupid.
But they softened it
How
after
would
that because
scared?
there was a row over it.
Getting
And Google threatened to take down its news service from Europe if they just didn't cop on. But
Europe is in like a worse state than America at this point.
yeah, because
that's when you know it's bad.
Because we've got like they literally have Donald Trump as
they've got like one person to worry about. We've got Theresa May
and all these boomers,
knobheads in the
all these goddamn boomers.
It's all the boomers. If just wait till all the boomers just retire and start gardening or whatever.
They replace them with more boomers.
No, but former millennials, I suppose. Like 30 years ago, were the current boomers millennials?
No.
Like, exactly.
Shut up, Thomas.
So, Connor. Fine. Try to make a point, but fine. Episode 3 is a bit of a mess.
As you can tell. But, yeah, to be honest, with Article 11 and 13, to be honest, like, they've got their hearts in the right place in a way.
Yeah, but you can see why something like that would happen, but not to that extent. But, like, you showed me a tweet the other day. Thank God you didn't send it via link. We might lose a bit of money. But you showed it to me, and it said, who was it? It was Boogie or something?
Yeah.
Or it was Dan Bull.
Oh, yeah.
Said that Article 13 is not going to work because YouTube can't even like manage their own copyright systems.
Yeah.
So there's no way that it's going to be able to be managed on every website in the EU.
Yeah, especially with like literally 28 other countries all arguing about what to do. Like they're all going to have different ideas of what to do. So no matter what, it's not going to work to full
which
extent.
Is bad as well. Like the fact that the people in charge of the part of the world that I live in and will be living in, I mean, like, I'm 16, I'm not even an adult yet, and this is like, not to get too #deep or whatever, but like, these people are gonna just make these decisions and then fuck off.
Yeah.
And then like, it's like the economy in America. Not to get political, this isn't a political show.
We were literally talking about jazz hands 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, not even. But you know, the economy was ruined, and then everyone's by these boomers again. And then now they're like, millennials are ruining. They're buying too many avocados because they can't afford houses.
They're killing the napkin industry.
When I was your age, I had a house, 3 children, and also everything was 100% cheaper.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's as soon as this whole thing is sorted, as they're literally the current MEPs now are being voted out in like a few months. We're getting new MEPs later this year.
Yep.
So
are they boomers?
I don't know
Hopefully
if they're boomers, Tomas. We'd have to do more research for next week. Let's see if there's...
Next week we'll update the boomer situation.
We'll do a boomer
Shout out to any boomer listeners we have.
all 21 subscribers, you're all boomers. We got our boomer viewers. Can I get get our boomer demographic up?
The demographic.
Shut up. So, basically, to conclude on that point, really, Article 13 and 11 Good idea, but
Bad execution.
awful execution. All because of these goddamn boomers. If you take one thing away from this episode, we do
Boomers
not like
equals
boomers. We need to stop boomers.
Hey, my name's Tomas. Welcome to Boomer.
Boomer review. Just that's what's on like the next census for the country is just, are you a boomer? And
Are you a
yes,
boomer?
it's like we have seen a 1.5% increase in boomers.
Take one of these boxes. And it's like millennial, Gen Z, boomer. I don't know what a boomer is. If you don't know, here's a clue. If you don't know what a boomer is, then you're a boomer. That's the rule. Unless you're like a normie. Hate that word.
I hate normie. I also hate the normie pod. I hate the normie pod.
Yes, that's our rival gang.
It's so bad. Worst
Yeah.
podcast. This best podcast.
Bad.
So
Joe Rogan, never heard of him.
True Geordie. Screw that. We're the true Galway.
Oh.
So
We're not from Galway. We're from North Dakota,
Jerusalem.
respectively. Who's texting me? Sorry, my phone is buzzing.
So I think to finish off on a lighter note, we're gonna move
Finish
back.
off.
Well, I think so. I am. But we're coming up to nearly an hour at this point.
Are we? No way, are we?
Yeah, I think so.
No way.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not.
Because we
actually.
spent the first like 20 minutes doing nothing.
We're
We're like 20 minutes in.
32 minutes in.
Yeah, we're nearly coming up on an hour now.
Literally only halfway to there. But what I kind of wanted to move on to was the again, you probably, no offense, are not really too aware of this because you've had a busy week. But
You're a boomer.
probably don't know this, Tomas, but you're a massive boomer. That's gonna be our new insult now. Is just calling each other boomers.
Yes.
Jack May and I'm Alex had a bit of beef. I don't know if you saw it.
I read about it, but I don't know what actually happened.
Yeah, so essentially, big lad Jack May made a video on a podcast Alfie Days made, or big pointless blog Alfie.
Big man.
Big Tory Alfie.
Is he?
I don't know. I'd assume so. Like he said, get a cup of tea, and he showed like herbal tea. So I think he's a Tory.
Ugh.
But basically, he did this thing where he was basically slating commentary YouTubers on a podcast, and he did this with I'm Alex and Fraser or Einaber. And essentially, Jack said before the video even started, Jack said, "I'm going to be taking out any bias I'd have towards Fraser and Alex because obviously they're his mates." And he's going to criticize it as just one piece of content, which doesn't mean he hates Fraser and Alex, but he just wants to be fair about it, which I can respect. But he then went on basically to talk about how Alex kind of bottled it, because like Alfie kept bringing up points like talking about vloggers and how they keep trying to sell merch and things, and Alex like backtracked it and was like, "Oh yeah, well I was just talking about like the American ones." And basically he was trying to be way too nice to Alfie than he needed to be. So Jack called him out on this, and then Alex went on this big Twitter spat for like 20 minutes on a live stream, Twitter Live, like the one person who uses Twitter Live. And he said that he didn't bring up Jack on the podcast because Jack has done just as much bad things as Alfie. Didn't really specify as much.
Close one there, Connor.
No, like he literally said, you've done just as much wrong as Alfie.
Mm.
So like, he didn't explain what these were. He just said you've done bad thing. And then like he kept just saying like how he was like, he said that he was recording for 4.5 hours with Fraser and Alfie, and Alfie cut out like 2 hours of it, and
Yeah.
Alex didn't appreciate that, even though, to be quite honest, in my opinion, if you really think your viewers are going to sit down for 4.5 hours and listen to you talk with Alfie Days,
You're wrong.
you're very wrong. Got some news for you, Chief. You wrong.
The only podcast I can afford to be 4 hours long is the Bad Friends podcast, because they're so good. This is our third episode, and we haven't even made 4 hours of content, guys.
Yeah. We keep it nice and short and sweet for you guys. And then at the end, just to like ram home a point that he never made, Alex basically was just like, by the way, Jack, you still haven't paid me for the podcasts. Like, for doing the podcasts. And then he went on to completely invalidate his point by saying, because I did them for free, because I was your friend. So
Alex, how old is Alex? Alex is like 20.
Yeah.
And Jack is how old?
26.
26.
I think he said that on a podcast before, that he was like 26.
So it seems to be that Alex is being pretty childish about it.
Yeah.
Because basically all Jack did, call him out for being a dickhead.
Yeah. And that was it. Like, literally the video is half an hour long, and I'd say about 28 minutes of it is just slating Alfie, and like there's about 2 minutes of just giving out about Alex.
But Alex is a commentary channel.
Yeah.
So he criticizes other channels for a living.
Yeah.
So that's pretty ironic, isn't it? That he can't just get over it.
Yeah, and as well,
I suppose because it's his friend. I suppose that could be part of it.
Yeah, but
that's not how that works.
On the same topic though, about him being a commentary YouTuber, like when this stuff, like Alfie literally had quotes of stuff that he had said about Alfie. Like he didn't bring up these quotes as though they're about the American vloggers like Jake and Logan Paul that Alex was acting as though he did.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically said that Jack basically said that he should have been able to back up his points. Like he shouldn't have just wussed around it and been like, oh no, I was talking about Jake Paul, rather than just saying, yeah, you're a twat.
Just follow through on it.
Yeah, like that's what.
But I suppose
that's what Fraser did, and that's why Fraser came across a lot better.
Like you tweeted this during the week, it's a lot different when you're in the room.
Yeah,
with the person.
That's the only problem with it, really. Like,
but still, you can't just talk shit behind a camera. And then if they bring it up, I didn't see it, but was Alfie being like...
Alfie was like...
aggressive about him.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. He was basically... He was fairly aggressive about the whole thing, because every time, like... I think Alex was kind of intimidated at the same time, because every time that Fraser started making a point, Alfie would like slam his fist on the table and interrupt him and say, "You haven't done your research."
Alfie Days, like... Who watches Alfie Days?
In 2019.
How many subscribers does he have?
I think it's around like 6 million, 7 million. I haven't looked at Alfie Days. No, it's not. He has 5 million on one and 3 million on the other.
So he's 5 million on the main channel, does he?
Yeah.
And 3 million on the vlog channel.
Question.
Yeah.
When was the last time he uploaded on his main channel?
2 weeks ago, because he's uploading like every 2 weeks on that, and it's basically just podcasts.
Okay, so you can't do podcasts and daily vlogs. Like, you have to have a daily vlog. Does he still do daily vlogs? Yes.
He does, I think, on his main channel. On the second channel. Let me check the second channel.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
So,
one day ago, 6 days ago, 1 week, 2 weeks. He does like weekly vlogs.
weekly vlogs. You can't, like, a vlog channel isn't,
Good morning, guys.
Content.
Good morning. How you doing?
because there's no way you can do something every day or every week that's enough for like a 25-minute long video.
Yeah.
But like, his main channel is podcast, and then his second channel is vlogs.
Yeah.
Either do vlogs full time or podcast full time. Like, we don't have, like, me and you don't have like a main channel where we do, like, I don't know,
Challenge videos or something.
challenge videos or something like that. Yeah. Well, you have like a main channel, but me, myself and yourself don't. Like, this is like your second channel where you do podcasts.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel as though if you're gonna move into a podcast, you either need to make it your full-time content,
Your
and
full-time
like,
thing, or
like True Geordie, or you
Yeah.
need to make a second channel like Jack has with the Happy Hour.
yeah. So like, it's like Alfie has 2 second channels, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, rather than one main.
Like, he doesn't have any content that he's done specifically for YouTube. You know, like his vlogs, he's got to do that anyways. And his podcast might as well just be a conversation. It's just a conversation that he's recording.
Yeah.
So, like,
Good morning, guys.
he can't really, I don't know. It's not really relevant. This whole situation should never really have come about
No.
with Jack and Alex.
It's only really because Alfie wanted to like make a statement, I guess.
Yeah, because Jack and Alex, you know, they're kind of more relevant, I suppose, these days
Oh yeah,
than,
absolutely.
than Alfie.
Like, who, as you said, who the hell watches Alfie Days in
Yeah,
this
Good
day
morning,
and
guys.
age? Like, his main channel has 5 million subscribers, and
Yeah.
his most
How
recent
many
video
views
has
is-
like 250k. 250k? That's a load. Oh wait, no, it isn't. I was about to say, no, never mind. Yeah, 250,000 views on his last video, and that was uploaded 2 weeks ago. It's not even like it's like a new upload.
yeah.
Whereas if
And
you,
how
if you put that into
going
comparison
to
with another YouTuber who has basically 5k not 5k, Jesus Christ, 5 million subscribers. Let's just,
5 man 16.
Let's look at Joe Weller. Like, Joe Weller literally has uploaded 13 hours ago and already has 700k views.
Yeah. So, like, it's all about, but they have different target audiences as well, I suppose.
I suppose.
Weller's target audience is like us, maybe a bit younger. Whose Alfie's is like
9, 10.
Alfie's is used to be 13, 14-year-olds, and then because he's going out with Zoella, Joe Suggs' big
Yeah.
sister,
Yeah.
and now it's as if their content, it's like Alfie is basically the male Zoella,
At this point, he basically is, yeah.
and her content is just like, well,
Bleh.
you know, if she's not doing a makeup thing, because, you know, I know girls like our age that use her for makeup,
Man.
but like, otherwise it's 9, 10, 11-year-old girls.
Yeah, I have the big lad Zoella channel opened here, And like
don't get me wrong. I've nothing against these people.
no,
I don't hate them, but there's a certain.
it's just definitely getting a vibe when they're bringing on like I'm Alex and I'm Aber on.
Yeah.
They're just looking to be relevant again.
Yeah, because
to be fair, it worked, but the talk about that video isn't about Alfie Days.
it's all negative.
About I'm Alex and Jack May. It's not about Alfie Days. Alfie Days may as well have just not been there. It could have been Jake Paul, or it could have been Emma Chamberlain, or literally any other YouTuber that they've slated.
Yeah, and like, there's no link between, like, Jack and Alex, they're friends.
Yeah.
What's their link to Alfie? They're not the same kind of YouTuber. They don't live in, like,
a mansion. They
don't live in the same place. Alfie lives in Brighton. Jack and Alex live in London.
Yeah, well, no, Jack lives in Norwich.
Oh, sorry. But,
number one Jack mate, Stan.
Well done. But, that would be like us. Who could, like, it'd be like me and you getting a makeup YouTuber on.
Yeah.
You know, they don't.
Extremely unrelated.
Yeah, they don't cross over anywhere.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like with, I keep bringing it up because it's basically the main podcast on YouTube for me anyway. The True Geordie podcast. So like he would. What would be the sort of person he'd get on his podcast? Like at this point, he talks about stuff like the Madeleine McCann documentary, or he talks about he was like Ricky Gervais. He has like Ian Wright, John Kavanagh, Niall Ranger, Jake Paul, Logan, and KSI. But that was coming up to boxing because his content is very related to like mixed martial arts and that.
Yeah.
It's
so like he has a link to all of his guests.
Yeah, it's not as though
whether it's football or like whatever,
football or boxing or YouTube or something.
Yeah,
but it'd be a bit like if out of nowhere, like he got Alfie Days on, like
yeah,
it just wouldn't make any sense. It probably would turn out to be a pretty bad podcast.
But even so, because. Like, take Joe Rogan or the H3 podcast. Like, they are probably the two biggest podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, they might, like, you probably watch the True Geordie podcast more than the H3 podcast.
But that's just from my own personal taste. Like,
yeah,
generally are the bigger
ones. But, like, they are probably the two biggest on YouTube. But because of that, they can kind of have anyone on. Because it's so professional.
Yeah.
But Alfie Days just like sits in his room and talks to people.
Yeah, like, and he
like Joe Rogan, like, or the H3, like Ethan Klein and Ela Klein. They have a studio. They have like a lot of editors, a lot of producers.
It's basically become their main channel at this point, and that kind of links in with your point about if you're going to go into podcasts, you have to either lean fully into it or just have it kind of on the back burner.
Yeah. But since they've started doing the podcast, H3, they started about like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
They've done less.
Hey, what up,
They used to upload like weekly on their main channel. Now they upload maybe once a month. But their videos are so much better on their main channel.
Yeah.
Because of that. Because the podcast is something easy that they can do, but it's still at that high standard.
Yeah.
So they have videos, you know, the videos get more, they think about their videos more because they're so used to their podcast now at this point.
Yeah.
That they can just do it naturally. Whereas, when did Alfie Days start his podcast?
Like, flipping a couple of months ago now. 4 or 5 months ago.
So he's still pretty new to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he do one once a week?
He's got 5 episodes out, and Well,
Oh yeah, so
5
yeah,
episodes
five
of the
episodes
actual podcast, but he basically just has chats. He also has like loads of these chats. Like the chat is I'm Alex and I Never. It's not even a podcast. I just copped it there when I went to the channel. But
Yeah.
it's just a real and honest chat with I'm Alex and real and honest chat with Marcus Butler, and they're literally the exact same length, if not longer, than his podcasts.
Yeah, so he has 5 actual podcasts and however many
Like
of these chats
yeah,
in 5 months. Let's say 4.5 months.
yeah.
So he's like getting them out. How long a day? Like half an hour, an hour?
45 minutes
Two.
is about an average, really, when I'm just skimming through them here.
Okay, so sit down for 45 minutes. That's probably not all the footage.
Oh no.
Because like with us because we are definitely on par with Alfie Day's podcast.
In terms of production quality and everything.
Yeah. We use all of we just record for about an hour and then
Throw it
That's
on
it.
and editing and
might edit out the very end and the very start,
yeah.
and that's it. But he puts work into his.
It's very very particularly like laid out, and
Yeah, and like a podcast shouldn't really be like that. In my opinion,
no, the more fun
I think it should
podcasts
be
are like
more relaxed, pure conversations. If it has an awkward silence, so be it. It's more natural.
yeah. It doesn't sound like it. I'd rather watch a podcast than watch an interview. Like
Yeah, exactly.
like if you put interview in the title of the podcast, like it almost seems to lose its drawing power.
Yeah, because the whole attractiveness of a podcast is that it's a conversation. It's not really professional. It's casual.
Yeah.
But if it's an interview, it's like, oh, let's just ask them about their job and their money. Like, there's no way Piers Morgan could ever do a podcast.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter if he slapped podcast in the title of Good Morning Britain. It's not. It's their interview.
Yeah. It's that sort of thing that kind of annoys you, like when it will just be an interview, but they'll just slam podcast in there just so they can be it. Just
to appeal to that kind of audience. It's clickbait.
Yeah.
It's a type of clickbait.
So
there we go.
That's
it over.
I think so, to be honest. I don't really want to keep Alfie Days' face of all of his thumbnails are in front of my face for now, so I'm just going to close that off. To finish off, we'll finish off on a nicer enough tone. We're on, how many minutes now? We're on 52 minutes. We just knocked 20 minutes out of Alfie Days. So we're just going to, I just kind of want to touch up upon this, and that's the new Avengers posters.
Yes. Now, before we start, in episode 1, we talked about Avengers. We didn't reveal any spoilers I don't think.
But there could be potential ones if we were to give our opinion on what we think is going to happen.
I was talking to a certain person.
Yeah.
And they said they had to skip past the Avengers part in episode 1 because of. If you don't know what happens in Infinity War,
skip to this time code
fucking watch it.
I'll put a time. Yes, obviously watch Infinity War.
But
I'll put a time code up on screen if you want to just skip past.
But if you don't know what happens in Infinity War, then how are you listening to a podcast? Infinity War came out a year ago, nearly, and you managed to find our podcast. So,
shut your mouth.
We're not gonna shut your mouth. But we're not gonna spoil anything intentionally, so it'll be pretty safe. All we're gonna talk about is posters at this part of the podcast right now.
Yeah.
So let's go.
So for the I don't want to say Russian because chances are it could end up being Ukrainian or something. I'm not great with how my languages look.
Eastern European.
essentially, I'll just say that just to cover my back. But on
Wait,
the,
is not? Yeah. Okay.
on
Sorry.
the poster for that one, I'm getting all these off the Russo Brothers Twitter.
Yes.
Like, one thing I've noticed about all these is just how, like, minimal an effort they give really to putting Bruce Banner there. Like,
Yeah.
the literal Hulk, probably one of the biggest superheroes of all time.
Probably the third strongest character in the MCU at the moment.
At this
Of
point,
the good guys. Of the good guys.
Yeah, like, he's just kind of
Like probably goes Captain Marvel, Thor,
Hulk.
Hulk.
Like, literally, Hawkeye has been more prominent.
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, Thor, Nick Fury.
Like, Hawkeye, even in, like, the trailers and everything, like, he's literally just got glimpses of Bruce Banner.
Yeah. Like
Well-
he was in the end scene of the first trailer. And
Yeah.
he's just like looking at he wasn't even staring in that scene. That was just like the missing posters and all that.
Yeah, and then the second trailer, it's literally just, like, about 3 frames of Bruce Banner is all we get.
Yeah.
In
But I suppose
when you put that into
you know-
comparison, like, how much screen time has Hawkeye gotten?
well, he wasn't in Infinity War, you see.
Well, I suppose that's kind of a new drawing point. It's like, whoa, Hawkeye's in this one, but at the same time, it's
Whoa, he's
Hawkeye or
back.
the Hulk. And I get a lot of the Russo brothers.
But like
even-
the Hulk wasn't in Infinity War either, really.
he's in it for like 4 minutes to get his ass handed
At
to
the
him.
start. Yeah.
But like,
And now it's Bruce Banner. I suppose it is, they know what they're doing.
yeah, like the Russos are very clear with the fact that a lot of the shots from the promotional footage and everything is fake.
It's fake. Yeah.
Just so they can throw us off. Because, like, the final scene, like the Infinity War trailer, was all the Avengers running in the forest, and Hulk was there, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't there in the actual film.
That never happened.
So, I'd say that there's definitely going to be a decent bit of Hulk in this, and
Yeah.
he will get a fairly big role. I just still find it odd that even for an actor like Mark Ruffalo's a big actor.
Yeah.
Just to kind of have him at the back, like Don Cheadle and Danny Gurira are more in focus than he is. Like
Who's
Okoye.
Danny Gurira? Oh yes. Sorry.
Like Okoye has been fairly prominent in the posters. Like, well, apart from the Chinese one, like she's at the side there, and she's pretty flipping big on the screen.
Mm.
So it's, I don't know. I wasn't expecting Okoye to have a big part. Like, I was expecting
like-
her just to be there because she's alive. That's about it.
Yeah. So, because I suppose there could be some potential spoilers here if we're talking about the trailer, but because there is a lot of, I just want to hear your opinion on this. Because there's a lot of fake footage in the trailer,
Yeah.
do you think that Iron Man even made it back to Earth? Because he's in 3 scenes in
Yeah.
the trailer.
And only one of them is actually back on Earth, and that's kind of. I
That's the shortest
saw
comic glimpse we have.
Iron talking about this as well, where he said that he kind of linked the two, like Endgame and Infinity War, which is like the last scene in the trailer where they're all the Avengers are together.
In the suits, white suits.
Well, yeah, he said that's probably like the end one in Infinity War where they're all running in the forest.
Yes.
It's probably fake. Just so people would be like, oh, so Tony will eventually come back, and that'll hopefully clear off the whole. Like they could do a sort of a thing where Tony actually dies, like he actually starves to death.
Yeah, and then but like,
the other
you
Avengers
could use
managed
the
to
time stone.
reverse time.
but I think Doctor Strange is pretty much useless now.
Because he's dead.
Like, he doesn't have his. Well, yeah, but like,
Doesn't have to.
you know what I mean.
Stone
He
either.
doesn't have the time stone. I actually forgot he was gone. But so I don't know if you sent me this or what, but there could be a thing where there's 6 of the original Avengers left,
Yeah.
and there's 6 Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And I saw this thing where maybe they'll do a Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1 on it.
Oh, yeah, where, like, they're all kind of...
They each take one, and then they all link up with all the alive. And then just fucking
Yeah.
just throw Ant-Man up his asshole or something.
I hate that meme. I hate that
like
meme
it. I think it's
so
funny.
much. I really don't like it. I thought it was really funny until, like a few days ago, because everyone was just like, oh no, they spoiled Infinity War. Ant-Man goes in Thanos' ass and grows big. Like, that was a theory I had before the Infinity War came out. Like, just put him in his ass or something. But, like, I don't want everyone else to know my plans.
It'd be so ridiculous if that actually happens. Though.
Just the Russo brothers made it their profile picture on Instagram.
Yeah, it was like a Venn diagram.
Yeah, it's like Thanos' left ass cheek, his right one, Ant-Man's in the middle.
Ant-Man in the middle.
But, like,
A 3-hour long film, and that's how it ends.
yeah, like, that'd be like this is literally 22 films. 22 films worth of build-up just for Ant-Man to grow big in someone's ass. Could you imagine having, like, been there for the first Iron Man and having been there since then? 10 years. 11 years, actually, of watching these flipping films just for it to end like that. We'll move back to the posters. I don't really want to talk about that game.
Penis.
Yes.
Penis.
So, with all the posters coming out, what I wanted to bring up is 2 characters' fates were basically revealed with all the, like, grey posters.
Yep.
So Shuri is dead.
Yeah.
That's
But she was.
Oh wait, no.
Everyone kind of thought that already.
I should have said that already, but that was a pretty big spoiler, really.
Well, no, because the posters came out.
If you want to go in completely blind and don't want to look at absolutely anything to do with the marketing, then Shuri's dead.
Yeah.
Which kind of surprised me. I thought she'd be pretty big in the whole grand scheme of things. Like, she'd make something that they could go back in time with, or she'd help with, like, the quantum realm or something.
Yeah, because the Russo brothers revealed he is the smartest person in the world.
Yeah.
They said that she's smarter than Tony Stark.
Yeah, like, Hank Pym is dead. How the hell is, like, apparently Scott just goes through, like, a time vortex. This is the theory, anyway, the prevailing theory.
Yeah.
That he just goes into a time vortex and goes forward in time, and that's when he shows up with the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the hell else no one else other than him knows that the quantum realm exists. That's alive right now. Like, Janet, Hope, and Hank all died at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it, so...
Sorry.
Cheers.
Sorry.
I probably won't say it, but...
But basically, like, no one else other than Scott Lang knows, and let's face it, Scott Lang isn't exactly the smartest character in the MCU.
Well, like, he is a...
He's a smart enough guy, because, like, he
has a degree in, like, engineering.
Yeah, and he hacked this company and was put in jail because he revealed that they were scamming money and things. But he's not dumb, but he's not like, I can build a portal to go back in time.
It's like me.
Like, so they basically... I think that's the main reason why they haven't, like, really showed the Hulk, because I think Bruce Banner is going to be more needed than the Hulk, if nothing else, than just to be like, I can go back in time because I'm a very smart guy.
I'm smart.
And then
I'm smart. And then, I'm not just
then Black Widow will get,
green man.
Black Widow will get, like, stabbed or something and go, like, mental and just, like, destroy the planet or something.
Yeah. He's like, I can be smart as well as strong green man.
And then that's how, like, he just becomes the Hulk again. Like,
yeah.
But while we're on the topic there of, like, how Shuri just died and that was her fate basically revealed,
mm-hmm.
Valkyrie is alive. Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok.
Thank God.
But what kind of? This is probably the worst thing. I really like Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok, so don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong with the way I'm going to phrase what I'm about to say. But I was kind of like hoping when I saw Valkyrie got a poster that Korg would have one as well, and I could see if he was alive or if he was dead or what the hell happened to Korg. Because I don't think they're gonna have time to be like, oh, here's the funny rock man from Thor Ragnarok. Like, if they just had him in a poster as being in the grey, it should, just for the people who watch Thor Ragnarok, they could
It's
be
closure.
like, they could be like, whoa, Korg is dead.
But they will definitely reveal that when, I'd say they're gonna reveal that whether he's dead or alive at the same time they introduce Valkyrie.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe she just be
Because
like, oh
that
yeah,
makes the most sense.
oh yeah, Korg died.
No, but
Small.
like they'll show her some scene of her wherever she is. Is she still up in?
She was sent
That's
away on
the
like,
ship.
an escape pod or something when Thanos just showed
Yeah.
up and killed all the Asgardians.
Yeah, so it'll be like her and Core and what's the other one?
Meek.
Meek, or else
Her on her own.
her and a lot of dust.
Yeah.
So
I think they're gonna bring Korg back anyway. Like he's gonna be alive for Phase 4 because
yeah,
I think they're gonna make it Thor 4.
ooh,
I genuinely do because Chris Hemsworth's contract goes on for a few more movies. Unlike like Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., who are very much like Iron Man and Cap are expected to die. They're expected to be like the two that will die.
yeah,
But Thor, because he's extremely flipping powerful, and
yeah. They just kind of
B,
they've only just
everyone loves Ragnarok, so I think they'll do like a Thor 4, and they'll just have him like living on Earth or something, with the new building the new Asgard back or something.
yeah.
Just if nothing else, just so they can have one more Taika Waititi Marvel film,
Yeah,
just to make up for the two really bad Thor movies.
yeah.
Well, Thor 1 wasn't too bad, but like, you
Okay,
get my
but
point.
so bad.
So yeah, just I actually would love a Thor 4 as well, though. Like, I don't want a complete Ragnarok rerun, obviously, which means sadly I don't think they should bring back the Grandmaster. But
Jeff,
Big Jeff,
my name Jeff.
Miamo, yeah. I don't think they should bring that back, but I do think that they should have another movie with, especially like with Valkyrie, because Tessa Thompson is a big actress now as well. Like she's going to be in the new Men in Black movie. She's
So it's Chris Hemsworth, isn't it?
so yeah, they're both in the new Men in Black. So that could be that's
Men in Black is secretly Thor 4.
It's directed by it's being directed by Taika. Oh, they should have done that. Well, imagine how cool that would be. A Men in Black movie directed by Taika Waititi with Chris Hemsworth and Valkyrie and Tessa Thompson. Like that would be the best. That would be the best Men in Black movie.
The last scene in Endgame is Thor and Valkyrie's like memories being wiped or something, and then like they wake up and they're part of some organization. Oh, you're all linked. That means Will Smith is in the MCU.
I want
Prove how Will Smith.
Prove
how Will Smith will come back and defeat Thanos.
I wonder if they'd like do a crossover at some point where they in the movies where they'd be like, Disney owns all these guys, so they're just gonna throw like Darth Vader at Thor or something.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna be like, oh, and here's is there any real actual powerful Disney character? Like here's the genie from Aladdin, and like the genie's talking like
Smith.
Hawkeye or something. That's just the weirdest like combination I think I've come up with. Just Will Smith.
I don't think
Will Smith's
you
genie
even know what you're talking.
No, but I'm just saying, like, they might do like some form of crossover in the future. It was just a spitballing, very bad idea in my opinion, but just one that I'd say Disney would consider.
Yeah.
So yeah, will we finish up with that? So.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter and tweet us anything or email us anything you want us to talk about.
Especially send us to Tomas so he might
Yes.
actually have topics by next week.
Here's the deal. Anyone who sends us anything that's worth talking about, we'll give you a shout out.
There we go.
Your Twitter username or whatever. Because you'll get so many followers.
You'll get mad clout from the Bad Friends podcast.
Yeah. So that wraps up episode 3. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
She got a bad today. Didn't even feel some weight. You let that shit say. Oh, I don't let it go. Oh, I don't let it go. Oh, I don't let it go. Yeah, going 8 like nigga. Move out the way, please don't be a hero. Bling blow, ooh, change on skateboard P. Bling blow, ooh, change on skateboard P. Yeah, going 8 like nigga. Move out the way, please don't be a hero. Bling blow, ooh, change on skateboard P.